Multi-million-dollar deal. Crown Royal products will remain on LCBO shelves. Embracing a new language.
My sister's deaf, my cat's deaf, and my dad's deaf, and my cousin's deaf.
Learning the art of Braille. And a sweet start to the maple syrup season.
If it runs the way that we're hoping, and I think it will, we can probably double what we did last year.
Mild temperatures foster spring's natural sweetener.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. The province has reached a multi-million-dollar deal with Diageo as questions continue about the future of the Crown Royal bottling plant in Amherstburg. The agreement keeps the brand on LCBO shelves. CTV's Sanjay Maru joins me now with the details on this tonight. Sanjay.
Yes, Stephanie, the province says this new agreement is worth nearly $23 million and again will keep Crown Royal products available through the LCBO. But to be clear, this will not save the Amherstburg bottling plant, which is scheduled to close at the end of the month, leaving more than 200 local jobs on the line. The agreement includes more than $1 million for Windsor-Essex, with $500,000 going to Invest Windsor-Essex for economic development and another $500,000 for community projects in Amherstburg. The deal also outlines investments in Ontario-based grain spirits, ready-to-drink beverages, packaging and marketing. Premier Doug Ford says the agreement will help protect Ontario workers while also strengthening local supply chains. But provincial officials say again, this will not prevent the planned shutdown of the Amherstburg bottling facility, again putting just more than 200 employees out of work. The company had announced last summer it would shift bottling for Canada and other export markets to a facility in Valleyfield, Quebec. Meanwhile, Amherstburg Mayor Michael Prue says he's disappointed by this deal because he was under the impression any deal between the province and Diageo would mainly benefit his community.
They've made a deal with the province to keep their name listed on the LCBO, and that's part of the deal. They're continue to be listed on the LCBO for paying $23 million to the province, who is going to spend it elsewhere.
Michael Prue goes on to say the municipality is still holding regular meetings with interested parties, including at least 2 potential buyers who have expressed interest in taking over the site and keeping workers employed. He says there may now be a 3rd industrial user looking at the property as well, as the town continues to push for a sale that could preserve jobs in Amherstburg. Stephanie.
Okay, here's hoping. Sanjay Maru with our top story tonight. Thank you, Sanjay. The head of the union representing Windsor police officers says a corruption scandal in Toronto appears to be an isolated case and there's no sign of similar issues locally. The Ontario Inspector General has ordered a review of all 45 police services across the province after 7 Toronto officers and 1 retiree were charged with offences including bribery, drug trafficking, theft and conspiracy to commit murder. Windsor Police Association President Ken Rice says he's not aware of any local concerns and points to existing oversight and policies already in place. He says those safeguards would likely flag any serious misconduct.
Especially with the modern day policing that you have, we have officers with body-worn microphones and cameras and all these things. This was part of oversight that was initiated years ago that was brought in that really, if this was going on in Windsor or other police services, this would be triggered.
So there's a call for answers following a reported meeting between the owner of the Ambassador Bridge and U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, a meeting that the New York Times reports happened just before Donald Trump took to Truth Social to say he will block the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. CTV's Travis Fortnum joining me now. And Travis, so what are the lawmakers trying to find out, and how could this ultimately affect Windsor?
Yes, well, this is all about whether private business interests influenced a major cross-border decision, and a California congressman on the U.S. House Oversight Committee is now demanding records tied to that reported meeting, wanting to know if it influenced Trump's threat. It was the New York Times who first reported earlier this week that Trump's post to Truth Social followed a meeting between Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and Matthew Maroon, whose family owns the Ambassador Bridge. Congressman Robert Garcia is now calling for emails, texts, and calendar records tied to that meeting. arguing it's unacceptable for a politically connected billionaire to influence trade policy. The Maroon family has long opposed the Gordie Howe Bridge, which would end its monopoly on commercial truck traffic at the busiest border crossing in North America. Garcia warns interference could increase congestion and disrupt U.S.-Canada trade. Speaking on AM 800, Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib saying, in her opinion, this is just par for the course.
Billionaire corruption goes hand in hand with the White House right now. So it wasn't a surprise to me that Matthew Maroon, the owner of the opposite, literally falling apart Ambassador Bridge, met with Trump administration hours before the president absurdly threatened to block the safer and more efficient Gordie Howe Bridge from opening. The Maroons have always taken this approach of donating to colleagues, both Democrats and Republicans in the United States, in a way that makes them look the other way when it comes to their lawlessness, them not following various permit process and things of that nature.
As those questions are investigated, Michigan lawmakers are also moving to prevent any federal interference altogether. In a press release, Congresswoman Hillary Scholten has announced new legislation that would block the administration from interfering with the bridge's opening or operation. The bill, titled the Michigan-Canada Partnership Act, cites existing agreements and is aimed at preventing any last-minute federal roadblocks as the bridge moves toward opening sometime this year. And Stefanie, I'll note CTV News has made several attempts to contact the Ambassador Bridge Company and obtain statement from the Maroons. We have not heard back.
Okay, and we'll have to see if those emails, texts, and records will be released at some point.
We will.
Okay, Travis Fortnum, thank you for this. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now for our first look at the Valentine's Day forecast. Gary.
Valentine's is upon us. Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening, folks. We are watching one particular area of southern Ontario draped right across the heart of Grey Bruce, Wiarton, San Tobermory, of course, the Bruce Peninsula proper, getting into some of that snow. It stays just to the north and east of us over the next couple of hours in that region, blowing snow, even the risk of it turning to some freezing drizzle. But we are protected in extreme southwestern Ontario. It looks like things will remain fair and continue into the weekend. I'll break down Valentine's Day, what we can expect weather-wise and beyond, coming up in just a few moments. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
The city of Windsor is joining the federal government, ordering all flags on municipal facilities to be lowered to half-mast in response to the mass killing in Tumbler Ridge, BC. 5 students and an educator were killed at the local high school, while the 18-year-old shooter also killed her mother and younger stepbrother at their home before taking her own life. In a release, the city says it expresses deep sorrow over the tragic event and the significant loss of life. The city says our hearts go to the community of Tumbler Ridge during this difficult time and stand united in grief and support. Flags will remain lowered through Tuesday, February 17th. A 43-year-old man initially arrested for assault is now facing 14 additional charges after a loaded, stolen firearm and illegal drugs were seized. The man was arrested Wednesday in the 1800 block of Cabana Road on charges of assault with a weapon, and theft after a physical altercation the previous day. Police say cocaine, fentanyl, prescription pills, and cash were also recovered. And Windsor police are asking for help after 3 5-week-old puppies were stolen during a home invasion in the West End. Police say around 1:30 Tuesday morning, 3 suspects ran from the home in the 600 block of Bridge Avenue, carrying the young part American bully mixed breed puppies named Bobby, Birdie, and Dipstick. Investigators describe 1 woman and 2 male suspects, all dressed in black. The woman is described as white, about 30 to 40 years old, approximately 5'6", with a slender build and blonde hair. At the time of the incident, she wore a black coat, black hoodie, black pants, and black boots. A white man is being described as being approximately 5'7", with a heavy build. He was wearing black clothing and a black ski mask. The third suspect, also a white man, about 5'5", with a medium build. He wore black clothing and is believed to have missing or decaying teeth. Investigators are asking anyone in the area to check their video surveillance for the time between 1 and 3 a.m. on February 10th for any evidence. A $180,000 house fire in Chatham last night. Fire crews arriving to a multi-unit residential building on King Street East, which found heavy black smoke and flames coming from the rear apartment. No one was inside at the time. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. While paramedics in Windsor, Essex have voted 100% in favor of strike action, they are considered essential services and are not permitted to strike. Emergency response will continue while the dispute is settled through negotiations or arbitration. The union says the status quo is failing and the system is falling apart. There is no strike deadline at this time. Mediation is scheduled with the Labor Board on February 19th. Then, if needed, a hearing date will be held sometime in the spring. Their service is short of approximately 50 paramedics, resulting in ambulances being left unstaffed and reduced coverage across the region. Former Local 444 President Dave Cassidy, who is now serving as Skilled Trades Special Advisor, is finishing his recommendations on the skilled trades shortage for the Labor Minister. Since May of 2024, Dave Cassidy has met with more than 200 stakeholders across the province, focusing on workforce demands in manufacturing, automotive, and electric vehicle production. Cassidy says one of the biggest challenges is encouraging employers to take on apprentices, noting the average apprentice in Ontario is 28 years old. He says stronger incentives and earlier engagement in schools are key. The province estimates more than 500,000 more workers in the skilled trades will be needed over the next decade. Cassidy hopes his report will be released by the summer.
The key is we need to give some incentives to these employers to attract the kids, the young kids, because right now in the province, the average age of an apprentice is 28 years old. It's pretty high. You know, that's one of the things. And the other issue is the school system. You know, our ecosystem is getting better, but we need to continue to still improve in the school systems where we're teaching them young.
When it comes to inclusive elementary schools, one in Wallaceburg likely takes top spot because students can learn 5 different languages. Now, 2 of which are for students with special needs. Joining me with the details on this story tonight, CTV's Michelle Molesky.
Yeah, Stephanie, students at A.A. Wright Elementary in Wallaceburg, of course, they work on English. Then as part of their core learning curriculum, students can choose to learn French or Ojibwe languages. But there's more. The students are also learning Braille and sign language in an effort to make the lives of their students more inclusive.
I might try to start calling in.
This is Braille Club at A.A. Wright Elementary.
When I started work with Legacy, I thought, what a great way to work on her social interaction skills.
Legacy Shipman Rogers jumped at the idea on one condition.
She said that I could help run the Braille Club.
And that's just what this plucky 10-year-old does.
There's even the Braille cells right here.
Every Thursday, instead of going out for lunch recess, nearly 20 of Shipman Rogers' peers learn about life through her eyes.
Miss Julie has some glasses that have what she sees in it, so it's cool looking through it.
6 and then 7.
The club may have been started for her, but Shipman Rogers is more focused on sharing her knowledge.
What's your favorite part about Braille Club?
Helping everybody get on the Braillers at the table.
As the club gained in interest, Miss Julie, as she's known here, took it one step further.
So that one was F-O-X, Fox.
She also teaches the kids sign language. Nathan McAdam likes to lead those lessons with good reason.
My sister's deaf, my cat's deaf, and my dad's deaf, and my cousin's deaf.
He also knows Braille.
And just in case if I get blind.
Learning to write in Braille is tricky, and that's kind of the point of the club.
Just kind of raising awareness about the diverse ways that people learn.
Here's a fun fact. Julie Vandernaut that you saw there is the Lambton Kent District School Board's vision and deaf teacher. She travels between all of their schools to take care of students who maybe need a little bit of extra help, but who are clearly doing a lot of the teaching themselves. Stephanie.
These students, extremely impressive, not only learning, Braille, but their awareness within the classroom and how different students learn differently.
You're absolutely right. I think that's what really struck me, is that this generation of students, they're so accepting of differences. And they're not just saying, oh yes, Legacy learns through Braille, Legacy needs a Brailler. They take it one step further and say, I want to learn that. I want to learn how to read words. And they wrote Valentine's Day cards for their families in Braille. I think this next generation is so much more understanding about differences than when I was in school. And so I think it's great. There's so many great things happening in our schools, and so it's nice to bring one.
And Legacy definitely has a bright future. 10 years old, and she's teaching.
She is so
class?
plucky. She's so wonderful. Yeah, great kid.
Michelle, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
In other news, 8 local organizations have a new sense of hope today thanks to a donation from Manor Windsor Realty.
These groups, when they get 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, it's almost life-changing for them, and they can do so much with it.
Throughout the last year, sales associates donated a portion of each sale to the Keys of Hope Charity Fund. That total was matched by the owner of Manor Realty. Today, checks were handed out to 8 organizations totaling more than $17,500. These organizations often do not receive any government funding. Beneficiaries are the Brain Injury Association, Kiwanis Music Festival, Salvation Army, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, Windsor Homeless Youth, Windsor Youth Center, and Harrow Public School and St. Anthony Catholic Elementary School to assist with their school nutrition programs. Now, since the charity started in 2018, Manor has donated more than $150,000. General Manager Rob Agnew is hoping other local businesses will step up and follow suit.
We have press conferences like this, not to tout ourselves and to brag about it, but to give incentive to other businesses and other real estate firms to try and do sort of their thing and their best. And if we all get together, this will add up very quickly.
Maple syrup season is officially underway in Essex County. With warmer daytime temperatures and freezing nights in the forecast, one local producer started tapping trees this week. CTV's Chris Campbell is with us now with more details tonight. Chris.
Yes, Stephanie, at Ruscombe Maple Farms, Valentine's Day usually marks the start of maple syrup season, but this year owner Rob Nadeau says a sudden break in the deep freeze had them heading into the bush a little early, and he's feeling optimistic.
So there you have it.
A small 2-man crew is out tapping trees by hand, hanging buckets the old-fashioned way. Rob Nadeau says ideal conditions mean daytime highs around +5 and overnight lows near -5. The temperature swing gets sap flowing.
The +5, -5, and the cold, everything is frozen. You require a shock to the tree, and that's what the +5, -5 does. The water is going to start going up the tree, and we're going to collect it as it comes.
This year, the farm is expanding into 2 new bush lots, including a forested property owned by Colassantes that hasn't been tapped in years. Nadeau expects to add more than 100 new taps.
If it runs the way that we're hoping, and I think it will, we can probably double what we did last year, which is incredible for us for a small operation like this.
Despite the growth, Nadeau says tradition still comes first.
We do it all traditional, à la mitaine, which is by the mitten. And all our stuff is gravity. We don't use tubes. We might try to get into tubes a little bit next year just to do 50, 60 trees to show people how that works also. But we still like doing the old hard work kind of style.
Provincially, producers are also expanding, but the start of the season hasn't been the same everywhere.
For us, it is actually a little later than normal. We've made syrup late January before, so if the weatherman is right, we won't be making any syrup till almost March, which is quite late for us, actually.
Even so, Bill Vandenberg with the Ontario Maple Syrup Producers Association says a cold winter often means a strong crop, and most producers are optimistic. With Maple Month events and festivals coming up in March, interest in local syrup appears to be growing.
Yes, we started doing tours now. We had a tour bus come in from Wisconsin last year, which is wow. We could only accommodate about 20 people in here because it's a very small area to work in. But yeah, it's getting interesting.
Back in Ruscombe, Nadeau says if temperatures cooperate, the season could stretch 5 to 6 weeks, which is longer than usual. And for a small family-run operation, that could make this their sweetest year yet. Stephanie?
Good news. Okay, Chris Campbell, thank you for this. And of course, love is in the air. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. If you still have to buy something special, here's one idea.
Say you'll be mine forever.
Members of the Essex Vocal Express stopped by the station today. These talented a cappella singers are traveling all around Windsor, Essex today and tomorrow, singing their hearts out for Valentine's Day. They still have some slots left for Saturday. Go to our website to book yours. The proceeds from the 2-song set help fund their work to keep music in schools.
They're a lot of fun to see people's reactions, because sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're, you get the tears going, and just somebody receiving that message from, like, say, their husband or a family member, you see it in their face, and that's what we get out of it. We just love doing it.
So here's our question of the day. Are you celebrating Valentine's Day this year? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you think there are enough safety measures in local schools. Around 600 people weighed in. 60% of them say yes. Now, do you have an idea for a great story? Text us at 10400. You can also send photos and video. Is Donald Trump looking to drop some tariffs on Canadian products? The answer still ahead on Windsor's News Leader. And one airline is suspending all flights to the U.S. We'll tell you why when we return. On Monday, change is coming. The Ontario Ministry of Education doubling down on reading and math in kindergarten, what it means for your child. That's Monday at 6 on CTV News. The growing affordability crisis in the U.S. ahead of November's midterm elections might offer Canada some relief from crushing American tariffs. But as CTV's Joy Malbon reports, that may just be wishful thinking.
Every chance he gets, the U.S. president trumpets his tariffs.
The economy is doing unbelievable. We right now have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
But he's battling the cost of living crisis in America and low approval ratings before the midterm elections. The Financial Times reporting the Trump administration may be having a rethink about those steep steel and aluminum tariffs that could affect Canada.
I don't think it's great reporting that we saw today. If anything is done, I think it would be sort of clarification on some incidental objects. But again, that's going to be the president's decision.
Canadian metals were slapped with a 50% tariff early this year, justified as a national security crisis. Canada retaliated, but this tit-for-tat tariff blitz has led to higher costs for consumers, paying more for groceries, electronics, cans, and cars. The American Nonpartisan Tax Foundation reports that tariffs will cost the average U.S. household $1,300 more in 2026.
There's definitely pressure because it is hitting different markets, and we're seeing that in the auto sector as well. Like Ford's earnings last week were dismal. So it's a situation where tariffs don't always work.
Even if the president is considering rolling back tariffs on steel and aluminum, here's what he posted just 2 days ago. Canada has taken advantage of the United States on trade for many years. They are among the worst in the world to deal with.
U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer said there likely won't be a rollback of the tariffs, more of a clarification or possible exemption on certain items like refrigerators and washers. But then again, it's the president's call. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
Air Transat is suspending all flights to the U.S. during the summer season. Canadian air travel to the United States has been dropping. Aviation analyst John Graddick says Air Transat is not the only Canadian airline cutting back.
This is the second carrier this week that really has announced a cutback in services between Canada and the U.S. WestJet earlier this week cut 15 city pairs from services in Canada. friends at Transat are cutting 3 today. So it's just accumulation of reaction by the carriers to Canadians not wanting to fly, or less Canadians wanting to fly to the U.S.
Figures from aviation data firm Cirium from last month found Canada to U.S. flight volumes fell more than 14% year over year during the fourth quarter. Airlines have been ramping up flights to destinations in the Caribbean and South America. A one-time GST top-up payment is coming as early as this spring after a new affordability bill recently received a royal assent. The Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit was fast-tracked through Parliament, even though the opposition called it a band-aid solution to the cost of living crisis. The payment for low-income Canadians will be worth 50% of the GST tax credit. That works out to just over $1,800 for a family of 4. After that, the annual benefit would work out to roughly $1,400 for the next 4 years. Canada now has 7 medals in the Winter Olympics, but still no gold. CTV's Scott Hurst with a look at how Team Canada fared nearing the end of week 1.
Courtney Saroux proudly displays both her medals from Milano Cortina.
I feel so grateful. It feels unbelievable.
The 25-year-old from Moncton, New Brunswick, is Canada's first double medalist at these Olympic Games. She won silver earlier in the week alongside her teammates in the mixed relay event and bronze in the women's short track 500-meter.
I didn't want to leave the ice with any regrets, so I just went for it and gave everything, and it got me some extra bling.
And she has a shot at even more medals to come in the Olympic competition. Staying on the ice, a busy day for the men's curling team led by Brad Jacobs. They're the oldest group in the men's curling competition and used every bit of age and experience in a 6-3 win over the Americans, who are the youngest squad in the competition. Team Canada also beat Sweden today. The Canadian rink is now 3-0. On the women's side, a stunning upset for the top-ranked Canadians. Rachel Homan's squad lost to the Americans 9-8. With the loss, Team Canada is now 1-1 in the preliminary round. Their next game is tomorrow against Great Britain. Mark McMorris has been cleared for competition after a nasty crash that kept him out of the Big Air event last weekend. The 3-time defending Olympic bronze medalist in men's snowboard slopestyle will now get a chance at another podium. Slopestyle qualification begins on Monday. The women's hockey team is back in action on Saturday, now into the knockout round. The reigning Olympic champions will play Germany in the quarterfinals. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Canada's main stock index climbed on gains in the basic materials sector. In Toronto, the TSX gained more than 600 points. In New York, the Dow added 49, the Nasdaq lost 50. The Canadian dollar fell 0.05 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $98 an ounce. Oil added a nickel a barrel. It might be legal, but that doesn't mean it's safe. Coming up, educating students about drug dangers.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. It's a gorgeous take. Sunset there. Beautiful work, Mark Hewer. Thank you, sir. Just ahead, how will the weather unfold for Valentine's Day weekend? We'll find out next on CTV News Windsor.
Sunny out there. Gary joins me again for an extended look. And Gary, I'm so excited to hear that maple syrup, the tapping has begun.
Loving maple syrup. I got a bit of a sweet tooth. And A-pluses to all our colleagues here in the newsroom. Had our little potluck. We call it junk luck because it's all the sweets and savories that aren't the most healthiest thing, but you just do it once in a while, not every week. And they did great. Love maple syrup. I'll have it for tomorrow with pancakes and waffles, perhaps. It's Valentine's Day. We should be treating each other. And there's some sunshine on the way. We saw it today with temperatures well above seasonal. Close to 3 degrees on the plus side today. Our average high is now above the freezing mark. As of today, 0.2 degrees Celsius. Air quality has improved since yesterday and the day before. We're at a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. The lower the number, the better. The winds will be picking up between, say, 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight through the overnight, and then easing up by the midday, early afternoon. We will see some cloudiness late tonight. More on that in just a moment. Temperatures a little bit cooler in Chatham-Kent. -1 or 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Mostly sunny conditions there. +2 or 36 Fahrenheit. Mostly sunny in Windsor, Essex. It feels like about -3 in Windsor, -7 in Chatham-Kent. But for the most part, it's very hospitable outside. We are warming across our great country from west to east. The coldest air is still in the Great Lakes, due east towards Quebec, the Maritimes, and Atlantic Canada, although parts of Newfoundland and Labrador aren't that bad right now. This is the one spot in the country where we're seeing an Environment Canada statement for blowing snow and even some freezing drizzle as it passes through the Lake Huron shores, Wyerton, Owen Sound, Tobermory, Grey Bruce, the peninsula itself getting blowing snow and maybe even some freezing rain. Over the next little while, 2 to 3 centimeters in that region. Meanwhile, high pressure keeps things clear here and will be clouding over between 8 o'clock and midnight. At midnight, mostly cloudy with a southwesterly wind sustained at around 20 km, and those winds easing. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Take a look at our Enercare Style 7-day forecast. +4, and then sunny on Sunday and Monday, +3, 6, cloudy Tuesday, 5. All of these on the plus side. 5 on Wednesday, rain, Thursday, rain, 7, and then 3 Friday, and cloudy.
Two recent celebrity deaths, both related to colorectal cancer, are prompting experts to remind the public about screening. CTV's Pauline Chan reports.
What? Catherine O'Hara and James Vanderbeek had both been diagnosed with colorectal cancer before they died.
It's the 4th common cancer in Canada, and it's the 3rd leading cause of death for both men and women. So these were very famous cases, but this is happening to average people every day.
And more cases recently are being diagnosed in younger people, aged 25 to 49. Vanderbeek was just 48 when he died.
There's a lot of research around this, but nobody really knows why it's increasing in this young age group.
Jen Waterman knows the importance of early detection. She was just 42 when she was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer in 2020.
When I talked about the symptoms, what I was experiencing, I really did think it was stress. Like, it was all in line. That's all I thought it was.
If colorectal cancer is caught early, by that we mean stage 1, it has not spread, the survival rates are 90%. And so we're looking at great statistics for survival. However, if it is caught at a later stage, the survival drops down significantly.
In Canada, screening is covered starting at age 50, but you may need earlier screening if you have symptoms like blood in your stools or a change in bowel habits, or if a close relative had colorectal cancer.
Meaning your mother, your father, or a sibling that has had colon cancer, you should be screened actually 10 years younger than the onset of that family member's disease.
These situations are also covered by OHIP.
I don't have any of the risk factors at all. I mean, not only being young, but there's nothing in my family.
Jen is grateful her doctor took her concerns seriously as soon as she mentioned them, and she says she owes her life to early screening. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Canadians are facing an opioid crisis. We've been covering this for several years now. Dr. Mehdi Alouche, Medical Officer of Health from the Windsor-Essex County Health Unit, joining me now. What is your team doing about this crisis? It's tragic to hear that this is still ongoing.
Opioid crisis has affected us for decades, as you said, Stephanie, and there's a tragic number behind that. Not everybody affected in the same way. Some people are affected more. Whomever is higher in the ladder of social and economic privilege might affect it less. But we are approaching this from different angles. One is harm reduction. Our goal is to save lives. This is a priority for us, and harm reduction also prevent extension and transmission of infectious disease as a result of unsafe drug use, and provide that opportunity for people to get into treatment when the time comes for them.
We've been talking a lot about opioid, but there's other substances that people are abusing that we need to pay attention to.
That's right. I'm deeply concerned about illegal but harmful substances that people can have access: alcohol, cannabis, nicotine, particularly on children and young adults, youth. Though that's a very concerning issue, and we are tracking that. We are working collaboratively with school boards, with other community partners to make sure that people, children, their families are educated about these drugs, and they can have an honest conversation with their children.
Okay, and there are actually some concrete things that you guys are providing in the school board, right?
Yes, we're working with them very closely in terms of education, in terms of that conversation that can happen at the school and prevent that first exposure to substances early on in their life, which can prevent children from continuous access to those drugs.
Okay, Dr. Mehdi Alouche, thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you.
You are invited to spend the night sleeping rough. Coming up, a fundraiser for youth experiencing homelessness. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced a massive rollback of federal efforts to contain greenhouse gases and fight climate change. Flanked by the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, Trump repealed a landmark Obama-era ruling, the endangerment finding, which terminated that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases endanger public health and welfare. Meanwhile, a new report warns Canada isn't on track to meet any of its climate targets. The report from the Canadian Climate Institute suggests Canada has moved away from its climate goals and won't meet its 2026 interim emissions reduction target, the 2030 Paris Agreement commitment, or the long-term goal of reaching net zero emissions by the year 2050. Canada's Environment Minister has not yet responded to the report. Spending the night outside in the cold, that is the premise behind Rough Night Out. It's a one-night event hosted by the Windsor residents for young men. The overnight event runs February 20th from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. at St. Clair College. Participants will spend the night outdoors to raise awareness and funds for youth experiencing homelessness across Windsor, Essex. Funds raised will go directly towards helping young men in the community with housing stability. Anyone who is interested in joining, either as a team or an individual, can find more information on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Award-winning Canadian singer-songwriter Jan Arden will take the stage at the Coliseum on June 19th. Arden, a multi-platinum artist with 16 albums and 19 top 10 singles, has earned 8 Juno Awards and was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame in 2020. Her latest album, Mixtape, released in January, features reinterpretations of 1990s pop hits.
Grammy Award-winning and multi-platinum singer Diana Krall will take to the Coliseum stage Thursday, April 16th. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Diana Krall at Caesars Windsor plus a $200 gift card.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. The hospice invites you to savor the sea, delight your taste buds with an extravagant feast for seafood lovers and land lovers alike. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. And Melanie, you have more on local opposition to the province's plan to consolidate conservation authorities.
That's right, Stephanie. New voices from real estate, agriculture, and the research community now speaking up and joining the pushback. Last fall, the province first proposed consolidating 36 conservation authorities into 7. Under the plan, IRCA would merge with others between Windsor and Waterloo. Critics warn a larger system could lead to delays, less local knowledge, and more uncertainty for projects on the ground. The IRCA board met last night to discuss a series of letters opposing the plan.
IRCA has always gotten a bad rep in aspects of like people don't want a permit and they don't want to pay for it. But our support, we have the Home Builders Association, we have the Heavy Construction Association, now we have the Realtors. It just shows that we have been a good team and we have made great cohesion and teamwork work. To have everyone's support is just outstanding, but it's just showing like not everyone thinks that this is a good idea.
We've got those details online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have a story online, Melanie, about Windsor Police. They are really cracking down on speeding.
That's right. So the traffic unit stopped 3 drivers for stunt driving in less than 24 hours. A 39-year-old man was going 100 kilometers per hour in a 50 zone on Dougal. A 62-year-old man was traveling 93 in a 50 on Wyandotte. And a 20-year-old man was going 92 on Wyandotte. You can read about the penalties for stunt driving on our website. And in our social spotlight, when your dog loves the snow a bit too much.
Can we get the Bernese Mountain Dog in from the snow at midnight? Come on, let's go. It's bedtime.
So it's late, and this dog definitely does not want to come inside and keeps running further into the snowy backyard. Kind of like kids, Stephanie.
Oh my God, he looks like he's having a really good time. I am definitely in bed at midnight, so if I had a dog and if they were outside at midnight, I would be a little flustered, to say the least.
Yeah, see, my dog hates the snow, so I don't have this problem.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay, if people at home have videos, cute ones like this one, how can they send it to us?
Yes, we love that. So they can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
And that's what's happening now. Thank you, Melanie. Love is in the air this Valentine's Day. When we return, the hilarious online dating profiles created for some furry and eligible herd members. I'm sure a lot of people maybe have some plans to be outdoors for Valentine's Day weekend and Family Day weekend.
Family Day is coming up on the Monday. You're right. So some will stretch this out, maybe even taking Friday off today. So 4 days of some sunshine. Today, sunny. Tomorrow, a mixture of sun and cloud. Mostly cloudy, but warm enough that we'll get up to maybe +4 or 5. Happy Valentine's Day. More sunshine on Sunday, 3 degrees Celsius, then 6. Look at this, warming up. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I think it's going to be a cloudy week next week, but mild. 5, 5, 7, and 3 over those 4 days. The average high right now is just above the freezing mark, and of course we expect it will gradually rise as we get closer to the spring season. So an indication that spring's not that far off.
Exciting. Okay, Gary, I know you're not lonely, but if you are lonely this Valentine's Day, you aren't alone, in fact. A musk ox farm in Alaska is taking a unique look at the day. Jeremy Roth says to take a look at this.
In Alaska, organizers at a musk ox farm put their heads together and came up with a very unique V-Day idea. They created online dating profiles for several members of their herd, and the results are equal parts amazing and a-grazing. See, it is funny because they are grazing. Okay. KTUU reports amongst the eligible foxy oxen at the musk ox farm in Palmer are Bumblebee, described as an independent lady, and Pixie Sticks, who enjoys a good novel and a warm blanket. The profiles are all in good fun and part of plenty of Valentine's season activities planned at the farm, including an ox kissing booth, which the farm says they are legally obligated to tell you is for looks only. Probably for the best. Something tells me a kiss from a musk ox would be more, musk than ox. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Gary, I don't know. I saw Benedict there. I feel like him and I could have a connection.
Oh, really?
Like his physique.
Yeah.
Very hairy, very handsome.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, my husband. Better be careful. Benedict.
Good grief. This is why I say Valentine's Day is hype. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? Just keep it lovely a whole year round.
Yes.
Way too much hype on Valentine's Day.
Well, I love it, love. Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
I love too. I love the weather. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca. Sanjay Maru and I will be back with your only late local newscast at 11. I love love.
Have a great
get
night.
Letters. Happy Valentine's Day.